119-pound women's bout coming up. Sarah Deming set to go against Patricia Alcivar. If there's ever a picture in determination, there it is in the blue corner, and she is determined to get to the Olympics with women's boxing.
My ultimate goal, of course, is the Olympics, and these are just little steps towards the Olympics. And since I started in the sport, wanted to make history, and these are little steps in making history, and I'm just glad to be part of it.
Patricia Alcivar, a young lady who came to this country from Colombia, and at various points, both of her parents went back, but she stayed, and she's making the most of it. Kevin Van Meter with the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's next bout is the women's 119-pound class. The referee is Ben DeSanto. In the gold corner, Sarah Deming, who is fighting unattached. Deming is a yoga teacher from Brooklyn who began boxing a year ago. Her record, 1 decision. In the blue corner, Patricia Alcivar from Waterfront Boxing Club. Alcivar is the defending champ. This is her 4th time in the gloves for the Queen resident, who is ranked #2. Tonight, she stands at 1 decision.
Patricia Alcivar going against Sarah Deming. Deming in the gold corner. Sarah Deming, also a graduate of Brown University. She has a bachelor's in comparative literature. Alcivar, a freshman at John Jay College, but reading, at least not books, won't be the focus in this one. Bill Clancy, both of these ladies wasting no time, getting right down to business.
Well, Alcivar seems to be much more experienced than Deming. I think she can settle down a little bit more. Doesn't have to do this much moving.
Sarah Deming with 1 decision in this year's tournament. Recurring theme in the women's bouts, at least the world-class women, they all want to see more competition. In other words, they want more women to get involved in the game.
Even the women we see now that compete across the country, they end up competing against the same people over and over. Each weight class only has a few people. I guess it's hard to get yourself up for a match with another person who you might be a lot better than or not as good as.
It's almost like practice.
Right. It'd be like sparring every day. You
need to get out there and get a real challenge every now and then, and that's something that isn't happening right now in the women's division. 2-minute rounds for the women as we come close to the end of the first of 3 rounds of boxing.
Last year at Foxwoods, we paid out more winners than any other casino, including Eve Wrigley, who won $150 and had the time of her life.
Today, everybody seems to be biting off more than they can chew.
31.
And right now, you can take control of your busy life with the help of Caller ID from Bell Atlantic. Call now to get a free Caller ID box and order Caller ID from Bell Atlantic.
5.
With Caller ID, you can see who's calling before you pick up the phone. So you can decide to take the call now or return it later. Save like wild. Get a free Caller ID box and order Caller ID. Call Bell Atlantic at 1-800-728-3525. The Caller ID box stores the names and numbers of callers, even if they hang up or don't leave a message. It can even work with call waiting.
28. That's definitely for you.
Get a free caller ID box and order caller ID now at 1-800-728-3525. And you'll save like wild with Bell Atlantic.
Round two, both boxers receiving instruction from their corner. Martin Snow has handled Patricia Alcivar in the blue with a good right hand right there.
She's by far the more experienced, better trained fighter. I thought she won the first round big. They just scored a right uppercut.
And a good left, and that one draws blood. Sarah Deming is bleeding from the nose. Another good left in there by Alcivar. And as you thought, Gil Clancy, she has calmed down tremendously here in the second round.
Well, she's by far the more experienced fighter. She's just picking her spots, changing her combinations, and they're all working. There's that
good
right
uppercut.
Left hook. But not just the uppercut, it's that hook behind it. She's well schooled. No big puncher, but very accurate.
Almost like a surgeon.
Surprised the referee hasn't stopped to take a look at that nose. They're usually pretty cautious.
Well, he's not a feminist. He's not let him bleed.
They don't let anyone bleed.
That's Gil Clancy, ladies and gentlemen. That nose bloodied by a clean left.